So one of the areas that SAIL has chosen to invest in is what's called energy efficiency. We believe that the greatest increases in market capitalization and pricing will occur in companies that increase the efficiency of uses of energy, whether it's the air conditioning or the heating in this building, the insulation, things of that nature will actually wind up producing the greatest profits. To look at it another way, the same McKinsey study, which was done for the Swedish utility Vattenfall, analyzed what they call the global cost curve of greenhouse gas abatement. And that's a lot of words because it's a consultant study. But basically what that means is when you look at all the different ways of reducing greenhouse gases, they analyzed what is the net real cost of achieving greenhouse gas abatement. Well, it turns out that when you analyze all the different methods, insulation improvements on the left, all the way over to biodiesel on the right, it turns out that all of the innovations in yellow on the left actually are negative cost, meaning they're immediately profitable. So, innovations in insulation improvements, fuel-efficient commercial vehicles, lighting systems, fuel-efficient vehicles, and water heating, those simple things will actually be, in theory, the most profitable places for investors to go. And based on this, the most costly ways to achieve greenhouse gas reduction are actually into biodiesel and areas like that. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that that dictates the results of individual investments, because individual salmon can always swim against the tide. But in general, this analysis by McKinsey helps to identify certain subsectors that are likely to be more profitable. And we at SAIL loop all these things on the left into what we call energy efficiency. And this is where actually all of our investments have been. We'll study some of them in just a second. So here are some examples. These are companies we've actually invested in. The first company, ICE Energy, has a very simple unit called the Ice Bear that sits right next to the air conditioning unit of a commercial building. The Ice Bear has the ability to buy cheap power at night, freeze a block of ice, and use the block of ice to cool the refrigerant during the day when it turns the compressor off. The compressor is what consumes all the electrical energy in an air conditioning system. The pilot project was installed at the Anaheim Fire Department 4 years ago and resulted in a 90% reduction in the electrical usage by the Anaheim Fire Department. Since then, so we invested in the company based on the strength of that and the management team. We invested at about a $16 million valuation. The last round just closed at a $100 million valuation. And we now have as co-investors Goldman Sachs, Energy Capital Partners, Consensus Business Group. So the next company, Flex Energy, is an early stage investment that is the only company in the world that has technology that can convert methane at low BTU levels into electricity. Now, that sounds like a very technical, well, what is that? And this is an example of where subject matter knowledge is important. What you may not know is that in every coal mine in the world, in every oil field, every oil refinery, every oil platform, every landfill, every water recycling station, at every one of these places on Earth, methane is seeping out of the process. Methane is one of the most potent greenhouse gases. We read every day about CO2. The global warming effect of methane is 23 times the effect of CO2. This company has a proven technology that takes this seeping methane and converts it into electricity at zero pollution. So we eliminate a dangerous greenhouse gas and convert it into something saleable, which is electricity, a potentially great impact for this company in global warming. The third company, Extreme Power, has what we call a large-scale energy storage solution. In other words, it's a battery. The Extreme Power solution can be scaled to be as small as my briefcase or as large as this building, depending on how much energy you want to store. The Extreme Power battery can store over 100 megawatts of power in its large scale, or it can be used in the size of my briefcase to replace a Honda generator. What's really remarkable is the Extreme Power battery is the lowest cost per kilowatt hour battery among the solutions, and there's only a few that can even store this amount of energy. So what is the significance of this? Well, everybody knows it's an old poet saying, you know, the wind blowing is a sign of intermittency, right? It's a symbol of intermittency. So every wind farm you read about, every solar panel you hear about being installed, all has to have a way to store the power until the point at which it's ready to be used. Extreme Power is one of the few companies on the planet that has a technology that can store the electrical power generated by wind and solar.